There you go.
Oh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tonie W Slow. Today, I want to talk about something that feels unusual in a world that praises busyness and constant achievement. I want to talk about the importance of slowing down during the winter months and how embracing a slower, quieter pace can transform your mindset, restore your energy, deepen your faith, and help prepare for the new year with clarity and purpose. Many people treat winter as an inconvenience. The days are shorter, the weather is colder, and everything seems to require more effort. But what if winter is not something we are meant to push through? What if winter is a season designed to teach us something important? Winter is not an interruption. Winter is an invitation to rest, reflect, and reset. Everything in nature flows a rhythm. Spring bursts with growth, summer brings fullness and activity, fall encourages us to let go. Winter invites us to rest. Yet humans often try to live as though they are in the summer season all year long, especially in a society that teaches us to stay in a constant go, go, go mindset. Winter, however, gently encourages us to move more slowly. The shorter days encourage us to wind down earlier. The cold weather invites us to spend more time indoors, reconnecting with ourselves and others. The stillness of the season urges us to pause and reflect. The rhythm of nature goes along with one of the most consistent spiritual practices found across cultures and traditions, the universal law of rhythm. This law reminds us that everything in life moves in cycles. We see this in day and night, inhaling and exhaling, growth and rest. Nature never rushes or skips a season. When we honor these rhythms, life feels more balanced and sustainable. When we resist them, exhaustion and burnout begins to appear. Winter exists not to slow us down as a punishment, but to realign us with the natural rhythm of life. Slowing down during this season allows us to move with life instead of constantly pushing against it. Nothing in nature blooms all year long, and the same is true for us. Winter reminds us that rest is not optional. It is essential for our well-being, creativity, and emotional and spiritual health. Winter offers us permission to pause so we can recover and prepare for what comes next. Closely connected to the rhythm is the universal law of balance, which teaches that well-being comes from harmony between effort and rest, giving and receiving, action and stillness. Burnout occurs when we live out of balance, when we give more than we can replenish, push more than we pause, and expect ourselves to function without restoration. Winter restores what constant busyness takes away. It reminds us that rest is not laziness, but a necessary part of a healthy and sustainable life. Balance is not achieved by doing more, but by knowing when to stop, breathe, and restore ourselves. We see this in the Bible that taking time to rest was essential to Jesus. There is a moment where Jesus notices that his disciples were completely worn out from serving others. They were so overwhelmed by the demands around them that they didn't even have enough time to eat. Jesus responded to this exhaustion with compassion and guidance. In Mark chapter 6, verse 31, he says, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." Jesus did not tell them to push harder and keep going. He invited them to rest. This moment shows us that rest is biblical, intentional, and commanded rather than simply suggested. It reminds us that we need to restore our bodies, minds, and spirits so that we can continue to help others around us. This idea appears not only in Christianity, but across many other religions. In Buddhism, slowing down is seen as essential for creating inner peace and clarity. Thich Nhat Hanh teaches us that when we rush through our days, we lose the ability to hear our own hearts. Stillness allows the mind and body to settle so that wisdom, compassion, and clarity can rise to the surface. Meditation itself is an internal pause and a way of coming home to ourselves. In Hinduism, this same truth appears in the philosophy of yoga, especially in the final pose of asana. After movement, stretching, and effort, practice ends in complete stillness. The belief is that true integration and healing only happens when our body rests. Without rest, the work we do cannot settle within us. This teaches us that rest is not an afterthought. It is part of growth itself. So whether it is Jesus inviting his disciples to a quiet place, Buddhist mindfulness calling us inward, or Hindu yoga reminding us that healing occurs in stillness, our souls need rest, and our bodies need restoration, and our minds need space to breathe. Burnout does not appear all at once. It builds gradually. It forms when we take on too many responsibilities without giving ourselves time to recover. It grows when we place pressure on ourselves to stay productive. It rises when we ignore our emotional needs and our physical limitations. Burnout is not a sign that we are weak. It is a sign that we have been strong for too long without giving ourselves the care we need. There are times when I have experienced burnout, especially when trying to multitask events or activities that I signed up for, even when I knew I was tired or overwhelmed. As a people pleaser, I feel guilty saying no. Eventually, the exhaustion has caught up to me. I begin to forget things more easily. I wasn't enjoying the present moment, and I struggled with time management because everything felt harder to do while tired. Our bodies communicate with us constantly, and they begin with subtle signs. But when we ignore those early signs of exhaustion, the signals get louder. When we don't rest, our immune system weakens, and we become more susceptible to illness. Our moods become more unstable, and our patience shortens. Our mental clarity fades, and simple decisions become more difficult. Our creativity drops, and activities that once brought us joy begin to feel draining. Our stress hormones rise and stay elevated, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and irritable. We disconnect from ourselves emotionally and spiritually. Ignoring rest is not a sign of strength. It is a form of self-neglect that often leads to harm. I learned this the hard way a few years ago when I ignored a knee injury. Instead of slowing down and letting it heal, I kept going until the pain became too much, and I needed physical therapy and a long period of time to rest. When we listen to the aches, pains, and fatigue early, we allow healing to begin before things get worse. By allowing ourselves to slow down, we begin to see the season differently. Winter encourages us to appreciate moments of calm. It teaches us to value stillness, to reflect on the year behind us, and to reconnect with who we are beneath all the noise of daily life. Winter can be a time of emotional clarity and a spiritual depth if we allow it to be. Winter also transforms our perspective. Instead of seeing it as darkness, we begin to see it as depth. Instead of seeing it as empty, we see it as full of potential. Slowing down during winter helps us reconnect with the inner parts of ourselves that are often drowned out by busyness. One way winter expresses its depths is through cultural and spiritual celebrations. Many winter holidays like Hanukkah, Christmas, and Kwanzaa center around the themes of light, connection, community, and introspection. Hanukkah reminds us of hope and miracles even in dark times. Christmas reflects joy, generosity, and the warmth of gathering with loved ones. Kwanzaa celebrates unity, purpose, and cultural heritage. Each of these traditions offers a reminder that even in the darkest season, light continues to shine. This season also gives us the opportunity to deepen our spiritual practices. You might dedicate a day or a weekend to silence by turning off your devices, reading spiritual books, and enjoying the quiet magic of winter. You may craft a meaningful morning routine that includes meditation, words of affirmations, or a moment of gratitude. You might decide to give back by volunteering to a shelter or a church or a charity. Doing volunteer work out of the kindness of your heart can be a way to grow spiritually. Winter is also a beautiful time to create or refresh an altar with crystals, candles, incense, or meaningful objects that help center your energy. Some of you can do each month is cleanse and recharge your crystals with intentions for the months ahead. For me, I really enjoy bringing my crystals outside during the new and full moon to help restore their energy. It's also an ideal time for cleansing your living space with incense, essential oils, or candles to release stagnant energy. Even something as simple as drawing a warm bath with the intention of cleansing your physical and energetic self can become a spiritual ritual. Other things to consider for the new year is writing a heartfelt letter to your future self about your hopes and goals for the next year. I will say you can start now. It's okay, you don't have to wait till the first. This can help you to clarify what matters most. You can list out your goals as you write, or make the letter as short or long as you like. No one else will read it but yourself. It's always nice to read what you wrote a year ago and see how far you've come from where you were 365 days. You can also choose a book that supports your personal growth and commit to reading it during the season. Some book recommendations I have are Be Your Future Self Now by Ben Hardy, The Choice by Edith Edger, and Atomic Habits by James Clear. You can find any of these books or other similar ones at bookstores, as audiobooks, or even at your local library. This is also a good time to challenge yourself to avoid complaining, gossiping, negative self-talk, or consuming negative media for a week. You may be surprised by how dramatically this shifts your energy. Your mindset shapes your world, and winter is the perfect season to reset that energy. Music can also be a powerful tool. Create a playlist that brings calm, stillness, and spiritual connection. My dad was just saying with the song that we just played today, he's like, I'm going to add this song. I think that's great. If there's any songs you ever hear at the church, I recommend making a little playlist for yourself. Then you can come back to it whenever you want to. Explore sounds that soothe your nervous system, such as piano instruments, gentle acoustic pieces, soft worship music, or peaceful nature sounds. Sometimes I like having Native American drumming and flute playing, or a gentle meditation music for positive energy. I like to play it softly just to bring that energy into my apartment. Mindfulness and meditation, guided or unguided, can help keep you present and centered. This is also the time where winter encourages us to have deeper dreaming. So I recommend you begin a dream journal. Keeping a notebook by your bed and writing down your dreams can reveal patterns and provide personal insight for things in your life you may need clarity on. Pair this with different calming teas like passion flower to enhance your sleep and dream clarity. There are also small everyday practices that can help us with slowing down. Taking a quiet minute each day to breathe and ask yourself what you need brings you back to alignment. Creating a winter evening routine such as dimming your lights, stretching, journaling, praying, and reading helps your mind and body unwind. Stretching at night, lighting a calming candle, or playing soothing music can transform your evening to a restful ritual. Spending a few minutes outdoors each day, even in the cold, can be grounding and refreshing. Limiting unnecessary commitments helps you to honor the restful nature of the season. You can even schedule rest on your calendar to protect that time. So as we move through the winter season, I encourage you to embrace a new perspective. Winter is not something to survive. It is an opportunity to slow down, reflect, restore, and realign. Slowing down is not a weakness. It is wisdom. Rest is not laziness. It is sacred and essential. Winter teaches us how to pause, breathe, and reset so we can enter the next season renewed and restored. When we honor the rhythm of winter, we enter the new year not exhausted, but refreshed, not overwhelmed, but grounded, and not depleted, but ready for what lies ahead. Thank you.